Hey folks, so in this video we're working on our shoulders. This is going to be a side lat raise. So if you want to get huge shoulders, hey, this is one of those exercises, right? Now, you might laugh, we're starting with 2-pounders. We're going to make sure those things get warmed up good. And there's all kinds of ways you can do this. Which way is the best way is another story. You could start here, basically lift up. You could have the hands completely at your side. Main thing is, not to go too ridiculously high with the weight, right? You can definitely feel it up to that point. And personally, I like to, in the lighter weights, have this position. And then when I get to the heavier weights, that'll be more like this. So maybe we're getting a little more momentum as we get it up there. You may see if I get up to 50, 52 and a half today, that maybe I do one arm at a time as well, right? Why is that? I just think it's a little less strainful on the body. But all right, so there's a little warm-up set. Now I have pretty much every dumbbell weight up until 8 pounds, and then we go 10 pounds. We go to 10s, we go to 20s. Now, if you don't have dumbbells and you're just getting started, maybe you have weight plates. And apologize, I don't spend a whole lot of time editing on this channel. So for 5-pounders, maybe you've got some of these guys, right? Olympic plates. Do the same thing with these. Just make sure you don't smash your fingers in between the plates, right? So maybe best to do this one to the side. You can pause at the top a little. So, depending on the lighting, you may see better development, right? That's one thing that's funny about working out. Depending on here, you're standing in relationship to the lights above you. You may look have better definition than you might if you're standing in front of a bright light. So me being as pale as I am, it matters what the lights look like. All right, so I'm assuming we are getting me. Let's adjust a little bit, just to ensure that we see that. So from here, I'm going to go with the 8-pounders. Now, something else to do warming up. You'll see folks in the military doing this. Help warm those shoulders up. There's all kinds of different things you can do. Stretching it. Stretch the shoulder out beforehand. Now it's always, better to stretch if you're a little warmed up. So if you're at the gym, maybe jump on that elliptical. Get your heart rate going. Get the shoulders warmed up, right? Get the arms warmed up. Now if you have problems with your elbow, maybe get a elbow sleeve. If you have problems with the wrist, maybe get those. This is an exercise when you go heavy that you may find that your wrist starts to hurt, okay? Now, something else we'll see later in the video, I will probably resort to wrist straps, right? So we will we'll use those. Help me go a little heavier. That's probably, when I get to about 30, 35 pounds. Now also, you'll notice handles on some of these weights are bigger. Depending on your hand size, that might have an effect. If you can't really grip it strong doing this exercise, you might find limits you. And you'll notice at the gym, the bigger the weights get, at some point they transition from a smaller handle to a bigger handle, all right? Now, is that the case every time? No, but there are a lot of sets like that. All right, so let's pause this for a moment. All right, so I moved over a little. I think the lighting is a little better, at least in the reflection off the TV, it appears to be. Getting a little bit of, blood flowing, getting a little bit of pump. So we'll try a slightly different angle here. Now, I've been doing these for quite a while, then I stopped doing them. Getting your shoulders too strong, too tight, it can affect your bench press. And so for a while there, that's really all I cared about, was how my bench press was. But now I think as I'm getting older, I'm more concerned about how the physique looks. And now some of you may laugh at that and go, oh, why don't you lose that inner tube around your waist? We'll get there eventually, or not. So another thing you will notice in these videos, folks, a lot of different dumbbells. I've pretty much over the years bought whatever is a good deal. So I'm going to switch over to 12.5s here. You got to find, good resting period between sets, whether that's 1.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes. In my opinion, is you're trying to gain strength, you take your time, right? Not a horse race. Supersetting might be good, but for this exercise, supersetting with something that's going to work the shoulders, not necessarily a good idea. I've tried doing this with shrugs in between. I don't think that works out so great. So you got to find probably a leg exercise to work in, or do something else. You just want to make sure that shoulder recovers for the next set. So other videos we've done the military press. My personal opinion really is, those two exercises, military or overhead press, and the side dumbbells are probably pretty much really the only exercises you need to build big shoulders. Now throw in, working your rear delts. We'll do that in another video. Front raises, which doing an overhead press, hits those pretty hard. Might not have to train those as hard. But definitely, if you really want to have well-rounded shoulders, do all 4 of those. All right, let's do our 12.5ers. I don't remember who makes these, but I kind of wish I would have spent more money on the rubber-coated ones, especially if I were to drop them. Might do less damage to the floor, especially in the other room. I am going to be getting some bigger dumbbells that I'm definitely considering getting the rubber coated ones. I was thinking get 95s, 105s, 115s. In my age, I'm not sure I really need those. So we'll start, I think, the 95s. And I know I can bench a lot incline, but I don't know how much I can do for dumbbells. I'm talking barbell. I know I can do quite a bit with the dumbbells, or excuse me, with the barbell incline. Not so sure about barbells. Let's pause here. That way I can recover. All right, folks. So, talked about how this could add some pain to your wrist. Not that these will help that great, but these are, I think, better for doing in the bench press. Problem with some of these gloves as they get older, it's a little harder to grip. So I can definitely not use these as I go super heavy. And then trying to use wrist straps, it's not going to work so great. But you can definitely feel the wrist feels a lot better. As somebody that's had some damage to the wrist, to the elbow, to the shoulder, pretty much every part of this body. All right, so I'm going to, I think, switch over to the wrist straps in the next scene, even though it's a little early, so we can show some variation. All right, so this isn't necessarily an exercise you really need to go ridiculously heavy. You'll see people overdoing it at the gym. I lied, wrist straps. Instead of that, we went with these wrist brace. These are pretty cheap to buy, just to show you, you know, definitely another thing that'll help out the old wrist. I'm about to say elbow. Now, as you do this, not a bad idea to, not that I can show you from this angle, but have a bend in your knees. These are 18 pounders. I think these were Yes All. So we're obviously bringing out all of the dumbbells. Now my favorite dumbbells would probably be my cap dumbbells. And we have quite a few sets of these. I think I'm probably going to stop at about 30 pounds in this video. I think that'll be good enough for today. But we got a couple more sets to do. All right, so we're going to use some wrist straps here, folks. You know, these are really good in case you have weak grips like yours truly, and you're concerned about losing grip of the weight. You don't want to drop the weight at the gym. That don't look so good. Don't want to drop it at your house, especially if you have wood floors or concrete or tile. So heck, even this carpet would not look so good afterwards. Now these are kind of hard to get in to when you have the smaller weights, but as you get to the heavier stuff, much easier to wrap them around. All right, so breathing's important, right? Exhale, exhale. On the earlier sets, you can almost do it without breathing, but you know, proper form would be not only to exhale, exhale. All right, so we'll move on to the 25s. Yeah. I've got quite a few channels that have fitness stuff on them. Eventually I'll probably try and put it all on one if we get this channel. This channel's monetized, probably that this will show up, but eventually we'll put this on a channel that I hope to get monetized, and we'll move all the fitness videos over there to include unboxings, reviews of equipment. All right, so variation of this, in case you can't do it standing up for whatever reason, we can do these seated, and definitely a little harder to do, potentially less cheating involved. So you're going to want to sit, try and put those feet together, and do it this way. All right, so feeling that, folks. Definitely that's about the extent of what I can do seated. And we'll switch back to standing. So hopefully you're getting a lot of ideas on variations and things. All right, so for this final one, we're gonna do them one-handed. Usually I use something to prop myself up, but we'll try doing this one-handed. Just you might have to stretch one leg out a little further to balance yourself. That's good. Switch sides. That's it. So hopefully down below, folks, I'll have links to the other shoulder workouts to help you guys get massive shoulders. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, all right? Thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe.